My female 35 mother married my stepdad when I was 17. He had a daughter from a previous marriage, Ellie, female 29. We were never close because when they moved in with us, Ellie was super clingy, would always follow me around, and basically stalk me in my own home. Your typical know-it-all barely left the house, so basically had zero friends that weren't online. So Ellie managed to graduate early and get into an excellent college on scholarships, then got a master's there as well. She's in engineering, and her college is one of the best ones for engineering. So straight after graduating, she was earning a crazy amount. She's been rubbing this in my face ever since she got the acceptance letter. When she was home, she always wore the university hoodie, talked about what she was doing at college, and sent videos of robots and crap to the family group chat. Now that she's earning so much, it's like her paying off our parents' car loans for Christmas or getting extravagant gifts for everyone. We had a few fights about it, but we always made up. So now on to this year. I got engaged last year in February to my fiancé, male 32. I asked my sister if she'd pitch in, and she said she would help out. Knowing she had the money, I got to plan my dream wedding. I was so excited about planning our big day. That was all until I showed her the plans, and she pulled the rug from beneath my feet. She asked me how I'm paying for it. My future husband and I didn't go to college, so we're not high earners. And I reminded her that she said she would help. She's now saying that she won't help pay for it, and she will at the absolute most pay for my dress. I told her it was unfair of her to lie to me and only tell me after planning everything that she wouldn't help. She blew up at me over us not being close in the past and blamed me for it. It takes two people to bond, but she claims everything is my fault. We argued for a bit, and now she's not even paying for my dress. All the wedding planning I've done has been for nothing now. My parents are split, with my mom saying Ellie needs to honor her word and let me have the wedding I planned, and we all pitch in what we can afford. My stepdad is angry I asked her in the first place and dug up some old arguments from when I was 17. Am I the idiot for expecting her to do what she promised? Edit. The problem is, my husband and I don't have fancy degrees. She earns a ton, and we're a family. The only reason she earns more than me is that she got lucky and got into a crazy expensive school on a scholarship. I didn't go to college, so now I should be forced into a cheap wedding I don't want? God, I've had to work way harder than her. I've been on minimum wage since 17, trying to make ends meet. She got handed a scholarship on a silver platter, and now she's set up for life. She skipped 2 grades and got a master's in engineering. Yeah, seems super silver plattery, and not that she's brilliant and a hard worker. Do you know how hard robotics is? You are the idiot. Pay for your own wedding. Tacky is asking her for money. She said she would help out, not pay for your dream wedding. You sound jealous of her hard work and success. Someone saying they'll help out with the wedding in no way indicates they'll just pay for the whole thing. Just because she has money doesn't mean you're entitled to it. And when dealing with wedding budgets, you should always find out what people are actually willing to spend and not count on the money until it's in your hand. You and your mother are delusional, thinking Ellie ever agreed to or should have to pay for your wedding. Yeah, I'm so confused, where I'll help out becomes, here's a blank check for you to plan whatever you want. And all that after she doesn't have a single kind word to say about her sister. I'm guessing OP has always been bitter and saw this as a way to recoup some metaphorical lost earnings. How much brainwashing did it take to convince your fiancé with the whole stepsister that I've always hated pays for my dream wedding plan? Well, he can't be all that bright either. You're not entitled to Ellie's wealth. She earned it, and it is 100% hers. It's nice that she's chosen to share some of it with her family, but Ellie owes you nothing. Your thinking is absurd. You can't pay for a champagne wedding with a beer pocketbook. If you don't want your sister to buy your dress, it's your decision. She said she'd help with the wedding, not pay for a lavish ceremony and reception. Plan the wedding you can afford. So I, 37 female, am married and have 2 kids, tween and pre-tween. My husband and I both work full-time corporate jobs, so we don't get home until 5 to 6 p.m. every night. We used to have a nanny who would pick the kids up from school and stay home until one of us returned. Almost a year ago, my father unfortunately passed, leaving my mother, 60, alone. So between her, my husband, and I, we all thought it'd be best for my mother to move in with us. It basically became the arrangement that my husband and I renovated our home to create an in-law suite for my mom to live in full-time, and we helped take care of her bills, and she'll essentially replace our nanny and look after our kids from 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. It's been great having her around, but the issue is that my brother, 32, and his wife, sister-in-law, think it's unfair to show favorites if my mom only babysits my kids and not theirs. Last week, sister-in-law just dropped off her kids, toddler and preschooler, at my house as soon as my husband and I left for work, and I only found out through my Ring camera. My husband and I don't want my brother's kids at our house because 1, they're very young, and our house is not baby-proofed and has many fragile items I know they'll try to get into. 2, the older child is extremely spoiled, and his parents never say no or give him consequences, so he goes to anyone's house and behaves badly. 3, my mom only watches my kids for about 3 hours every day, but my sister-in-law drops off her kids all day at my house, even when my kids aren't being watched. I talked to my mom, and she said she doesn't know if she's uncomfortable with watching 4 kids at once, but she'll try if needed. And it's ultimately up to me if my brother's kids can come over since it's my house. So I told my brother and sister-in-law no, and sister-in-law has been sending me the rudest messages about how I'm making my kids spoiled and letting them have their grandmother's favoritism, etc. Also, I could afford a nanny, but I'm choosing to use my mother when she and my brother can't afford other childcare. I just reminded her that she's a stay-at-home mom, and it's her job to look after her kids, not my mother's, and blocked her. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Your mom isn't doing this for free. You're essentially paying her bills and giving her a place to live. In exchange, she's watching your children. If sister-in-law wants you to watch her children, she should move her into her house and pay her bills. It's not favoritism. The jealousy displayed by your brother and sister-in-law is wholly inappropriate, and them just dropping off their kids at your house without asking is even worse. On top of that, just expecting your mom to watch 4 kids without her consent? Your brother and his wife are the idiots here. This is a them problem, not a you problem. I just reminded her that she's a stay-at-home mom and it's her job to look after her kids. LOL. And wow, the entitlement on your sister-in-law is strong. Apparently, sister-in-law wants to be a trophy wife, not a stay-at-home mom. We have some of those in my town. No job outside the home, plus they have a nanny and a maid, send the laundry out, and get the groceries, mainly heat and eat items, delivered. I, 29 male, have a wife who is 6 months pregnant. She doesn't work. She wants to be a stay-at-home mom while I work, which is completely fine. Recently, her hormones, or at least I hope it's the hormones, have been very angry towards me. I've been trying to help her throughout it and give her any craving she wants, even going out at 1 a.m. to get her some lemon juice. The other day, I had a long day at work and was very tired, and I just wanted to go home and sleep. When I got home, my wife greeted me and then asked if I'd bake her a cookie cake she's been craving because she likes how I make it. I apologized to her, saying I was tired and I'd make it for her tomorrow when I came back home from work and bring her some Panda Express. She started saying that she was the one who was pregnant and that I shouldn't be tired. I didn't answer her. I was tired and went upstairs to sleep, but she kept yelling at me. She's craving cookie cake and wants it now, so I told her to stop being a brat and wait for tomorrow. She slammed the door on me and went downstairs. So, am I the idiot? Edit. She's never acted like this before being pregnant. Not the idiot. Being pregnant doesn't give her a get-out-of-jail-free card for bratty behavior. And you're not in a competition about who has the right to be tired. That's not hormones. That's pure and simple crazy. She doesn't own tired. There are many reasons people can be tired. It sounds like you're doing a lot to help, but you should be given kindness. I think it's time for a conversation, as these yelling and slamming doors need to stop. Otherwise, there's no guarantee this won't continue after the baby's born. Would she tolerate a child being this demanding? I'm going to say everyone's the idiot, only because calling her a brat is kind of an idiot move. But she's also the idiot in this situation for yelling, demanding you make it for her, and saying you're not allowed to be tired. I've been pregnant and also got mad easily, but even then, I never told my ex he's not allowed to be tired or demanded things from him when he was too tired to do said things. He's my ex for a different reason, though, for anyone wondering. My sister-in-law, 43, cannot have children. This is important because it's 100% why she acts the way she does. My husband and I, both 29, have a pre-tween, and when we got pregnant at 22, sister-in-law insisted we give her our child because we were too young to be reproducing. We are not the first, and probably will not be the last people that she pulled the same line with. But she checked herself into therapy a while back for these issues that she has. For those wondering, she's not eligible for adoption or fostering. She's been denied several times for many different reasons. Over the years, she's definitely overstepped all of the parents in the family, telling the kids what they can and cannot do, or arguing with the parents on issues that have nothing to do with her. I.e., if someone says their kids can't do something, it's met with a, "Why the heck not? You're so mean for no reason. Let them do it," stated in front of the children, causing issues because Auntie said we could. The latest issue is us going to mother-in-law's house for Gramps' 90th birthday. They have at least 8 miles of ATV trails behind their home that are constantly crowded with dirt bikes and four-wheelers. The kids wanted to go on the trails, and we told our son that he couldn't due to a safety issue. Kids do not belong on ATV trails. Sister-in-law says, "Why not?" I literally just told them that they could, so I simply stated, "Well, my son isn't yours, and you have no right to grant permission." She starts arguing and then openly looks at my son, saying, "I said it was fine, just go." I told my husband to get our son in the vehicle, and when he was out of earshot, I said, "Keep trying to parent my kid, and there will be some problems. Watch how quickly I make sure you never see him again." I'm being told I'm an idiot by everyone outside of my husband because while sister-in-law overstepped, I turned petty and threatened her over something mundane. Definitely not the idiot. Your sister-in-law is not only massively overstepping with your child, she's giving them the go-ahead to do something that could hurt them. Honestly, I think you're already past the point of issuing a warning to keep your child away. They're 7 years old. If mom says no to something they want to do and auntie says yes, who do you think they'll listen to? Especially if it's something dangerous. Agree. Sister-in-law is out of her mind, rolling the dice with your kids and completely undermining you. Drastic measures are long overdue, with no contact or never letting her have unsupervised access to your kids, which would be next to impossible during family visits. So you must be a warrior and protect those kids. It sounds like your whole family, except your husband, thankfully, is in the wrong here. So skip the visits. I'm 27 female with my boyfriend/partner Taylor, 29 male. We're both straight and have been together for 5 years. We don't want to get married or have kids, but consider each other our life partners, if that makes sense. I don't know why, but I feel like at my age, boyfriend sounds a little juvenile. That's just how I feel, no offense to anybody. Plus, whenever I call him my boyfriend, the questions of engagement and marriage always follow up without fail. We both prefer partners. I'll say, "Oh, me and my partner Taylor," if I bring him up in conversation with my coworkers or acquaintances. We recently moved to a new city. I've been making more friends but haven't been able to introduce them to Taylor since he's been stuck on the night shift, nurse. Recently, one of my newest friends, Kate, ran into me and Taylor. I introduced her. She said, "Wait, what? I thought you were dating a woman." I was like, no. Taylor laughed. He said it's happened a lot, since Taylor's a name both genders use, but is more popular with women now. He said a lot of interviewers are shocked when a lumberjack walks in, LOL. Kate frowned and said it's the name and the fact that partner is usually a term only used by the LGBT community. Taylor and I were like, "Oh, okay, cool. I can see the confusion then." She also added, "Well, the fact he's a nurse too." Taylor got a little irritated at the nurse's comment and said, "Yeah, it's a common assumption." The next time my friend and I got together, they confronted me over it. They accused me of queer baiting. I guess they were under the impression that I was a lesbian. Kate had texted our friend group asking if they knew Taylor was a man and that I'm hetero. They started to educate me on the history of the term partner and why it's unethical for straight couples to use it. I was taken aback and said, "Wait, so you're telling me that we can't use a term that we both feel more comfortable identifying with because that sounds like something the LGBT would be for?" They got a bit angry and said, I wouldn't get it. Kate pointed out she specifically befriended me because I was safe, since she thought I was a fellow lesbian. I told them, yeah, I'm straight. Taylor's a man, a nurse, and my partner. I said they were the ones assuming. Plus, I'm 100% sure I referred to him as he before in conversations. They all exchanged looks and called it an early night. They've been dodging my request to hang out, and I feel like I've been kicked out of the friend group over this. I'm honestly so confused. I decided to casually show pictures of Taylor to my coworkers. Look at us on this date. And only 2 out of 10 thought he was a woman. The others definitely picked up on the he, him pronouns. It doesn't really matter to me, but if they make assumptions from it, that's on them. Am I the idiot for referring to my boyfriend as a partner? Is this not allowed anymore? Do I have to add my partner Taylor, who's a big burly man, by the way? Not the idiot. I think you should be content with getting kicked out. If you want some closure, you can message them all and say something like, I'm disappointed that the only reason you all wanted to be my friend was because of your assumptions about my orientation. I'm also offended that assumptions about my partner's gender were based on him being a nurse. You all should feel ashamed of yourselves for your assumptions, biases, and gatekeeping you all have done. However, I hope you all continue to grow as individuals and then find new friends. I read it and sprained an eye muscle from rolling them. How somebody could be that self-righteous is beyond me. As a fellow queer LGBT person, Kate is dead wrong. The more people who use partners, the better. If only queer people use partners, it can put us against our will and make things very dangerous. Many of us advocate for straight people to use partners because it helps us hide if we need to, which in turn keeps us safe. Keep calling your boyfriend your partner. You help us when you do. A nurse named Taylor must be a woman, but how dare you misuse gender ambiguity? Jesus, Kate's a drama llama. She reminds me of the coworker who got mad the widowed was still wearing a wedding ring because it was false advertising. because she wanted him. I get the weird feeling that Kate was attached to OP and annoyed OP isn't into women, and she was hoping for a shot down the line.